I didn't realize we had wrong John Silver twice in a row. I could have just gone on. Well, wrong John Silver, we just have music half drums with them, and now we have when the traffic clears. All right, middle long, but here's our last one. Here we go. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. A 2-kilometer perimeter has been set up over the zone affected by SCP-2459. Mobile Task Force Phi 12 green light is to work with local police and transit authorities to prevent civilians from approaching the area. The town within the perimeter is to remain evacuated, with a local chemical spill and health hazard remaining a cover story. All movement within the perimeter must avoid any travel by road. All roads are to be removed within the perimeter as allowed by local conditions. MTF Phi 12 is to maintain a supply camp in towns. Food and necessary survival supplies will be provided to the remaining individuals under SCP-2459's effect. All personnel who deliver supplies and engage in waste removal are to be tethered by steel cable to the supply camp and retrieved from the affected area by reeling in. Class A amnestics are to be administered to all participants involving in supply delivery. So it sounds very much like you're just stuck. Roadside waste must be removed by MTF Phi 12. Foundation personnel affected by SCP-2459 are to be included in supply programs with the responsibility of dispensing food and supplies as required. Personnel within SCP-2459's zone of effect are reminded that the water hose and power cables are Foundation property, and any transactions procured by personnel are to be placed with the Foundation patrol account. Furthermore, if they show signs of decreased morale, they are to be reminded that they will remain in place until the traffic clears. Civilians rescued are to be interviewed. Each civilian is to be detained for a minimum of 2 weeks, placed on an amnestic regimen, and must attend classes regarding the structure of society and proper functioning therein. See Protocol Code 525. All citizens must demonstrate understanding and belief in the social structures of their home community before being released. And here we have a picture that just says SCP-2459. Yeah, that just looks like very much big boy traffic. Description: SCP-2459 is a multi-level location-based mine-affecting hazard overlaid in an area of 4 intersections within Pakistan. Any person who enters the zone of effect is subject to an initial cognitive hazard. Convincing the subject that leaving the zone is not an option. The primary result of this hazard is a large traffic jam that extends throughout the city blocks in the zone of effect. Furthermore, the hazard contains a mimetic component believed to be subconscious defense against the initial cognitive hazard. Subjects within the zone of effect in SCP-2459 try to organize their affairs with respect to all other subjects within the zone, resulting in a reinforcement of the need to stay inside the zone, typically for reasons of social standing and personal property rights. Because the zone consists solely of the roadway, there is no source of water or food available. Okay. All food and water must be provided to hazard subjects. The development of the hazard and the subjects involved is a dynamic situation, and containment continues to be based in humanitarian efforts and civilian rescue. Addendum Incident Log A. Notable events and any changes to the nature of the anomaly are to be logged and appended to this document. Personnel involved in containment of SCP-2459 must remember this is an evolving cognitive hazardous incident and to log any behavioral changes found. 5th May 2015, a traffic jam formed in the zone of effect of SCP-2459. When it was observed that the jam was not clearing itself naturally, local police were dispatched to move traffic along. When local police stopped attempting to direct traffic, provincial forces were dispatched. 7th May 2015, provincial forces disobeyed orders to leave the area, refusing to back down from the task of clearing the traffic. Foundation contacted regarding potential cognitive hazard. First responders noted that civilians at the edge of the traffic jam appeared confused regarding instructions to move on. Although civilians would leave their cars and walk around, no one left the roadway at any time. entrepreneurial civilians within the affected zone had set up outhouses at the edge of the roadway for civilians and were crouching for their use. Human waste was noted to pile up at the road edges. Ugh. Initial sortie sent to rescue a civilian from the rapidly deteriorating conditions for entering the zone of effect of SCP-2459 and first appeared lost. When instructed to return, affected personnel refused, stating that the importance of locating an appropriate civilian to rescue. Yeah, okay. So that's why with the whole like being wheeled back out, I assume it's like a locked thing, like something that they could not just take off themselves. Because otherwise, it would just like unlock and then stay in the zone as well. One member attempted to establish rapport with the locals by partnering his meal bars to others. As currency was rapidly becoming concentrated in the hands of the outhouse renters, the Foundation personnel accepted a remaining share in the petrol in the tank of the car of one of the civilians. HC-1 class cognitive hazard was diagnosed and MTF-512 was dispatched. 8th May 2015, affected civilians ran dangerously low on food and water. So, yeah, fuck this, yeah. You have a whole bunch of people eventually starving to death if they didn't act. If the Foundation didn't act, there would be a whole bunch of people starving to death. Civilians demonstrated further anomalous mimetic effects, reaching consensus to accept petrol as payment for goods and services between them. Civilians and personnel agreed that all such transactions should be managed as a central bank. And civilians siphoned petrol from all vehicle tanks and transferred it to a tanker caught in the effect, rendering the vehicle unfit for travel. 20 civilians collapsed from dehydration and heat exhaustion. MTF-512 contacted civilians offering a medical evacuation. All offers were refused. MTF extends wallet hose to affected personnel within the zone of effect to provide water. Daytime high temperature 41 degrees. Oh, fucking hell. 41 degrees Celsius as well. In May? Whew. 9th May 2015. MTF-512 delivered the first crate of supplies to affected civilians and Foundation personnel. Personnel affected by the anomaly having entered the zone without vehicle or patrol have been classified as low-status individuals by civilians. Affected personnel have bartered away their equipment in order to participate in the society forming from SCP-2459. I see something shining myself. Affected personnel request to receive the supplies and wallet directly from the Foundation so that they may sell them to the civilians and increase their social standing. Request denied. 14th May 2015. MTF-512 completed containment perimeter. All unaffected civilians evacuated and amnesticized. All unaffected. Okay, supply drops continue. Power cable is extended to affected personnel. Personnel are requested to confiscate all phone power charges for containment purposes. The Foundation applies for a petrol account for incidentals. Can you imagine being like, just being like a family member waiting for them to come home? Like, what are they? What's going on? What's going on? In the meantime, that family member's like, I can't leave. I just can't leave. I guess I'm just gonna live here for the rest of my life. My phone's been dead for days. I cannot even contact my loved ones. But they would understand. They would understand. Absolutely understand. And then like, yeah. Uh, 14th May 2000 MTF-512 completed containment perimeter. All affected civilians were accurate. Yeah. I had this already. Okay. 18th May. 512 attached a retracting cable to rescue personnel and entered the zone of effect. Personnel were subject to the cognitive hazard within 2 seconds of entering the zone. Cable retraction was successful in retrieving the attached rescue personnel. Retrieved personnel continued to demonstrate mimetic infection, complaining that they still had obligation within the zone. Class A amnestics successfully removed the cognitive hazard from subjects. Okay. So if you give them the amnestics and they're still in the zone, do they just reset back to the same effect as if they freshly entered the zone, or do they finally get like some like, oh yeah, let me get out? 9th May 2015. Well, I guess we will see. Tethered rescue personnel instructed to attach a harness to retrieve a civilian located at the edge of the road. Task successful with casualties, broken ankle civilian. Although Class A amnestics removed the cognitive hazard from the rescue team, it failed to completely remove the hazard from the civilian. Civilian interviewed. So probably because of like duration. Interview POY1. Agent Mohammed Shah, MTF 512. Interview conducted 19th May 2015. Interview immediately after rescue from zone of effect. Subject suffered a broken ankle resisting rescue. Begin log 1130. POI1. You can't keep me here. I have to go back. We can't let you go back out there. You need medical assistance. They set up a practice at the ambulance. I will be fine. We can get you better care here. But what about my car? I can't just abandon it. They'll think that I left it behind. Would you return home, face your wife and tell her that you just walked away from the car and now you have nothing? You have a wife? Where is she? Would you want to know where you are? She's at home, and she'll be more concerned that I show up with no car, a broken ankle and no way to work. No, let me back to my car, and I'll drive it home when traffic clears like I was supposed to. But you emptied the tank. How can you drive an unempty tank? The petrol is still in my name, and I can withdraw it at any time. Now let me return to my car. End log 1142. Yeah, I feel like you're not going to get any further with this man. That's it. Okay, what if you're using amnestics that's stronger than A? I guess how many days have passed? At least 14, like 2 weeks for this man, potentially, maybe even longer. 2 weeks. Yeah, why not just try amnestics B and see if that helps. I know it's not ideal, but maybe that helps. And then it's just like, oh yeah, I'll just get a different car. Fuck that one. 20th May 2015, a civil disturbance broke out within the zone, which was quickly suppressed by affected police. The cause of the riot was a disagreement regarding the dispensation of POY1's vehicle. Affected individuals evaded the situation and agreed that the vehicles and equipment of rescued individuals are considered abandoned. Oh fuck. So he was right. Like, yeah, they will definitely think he abandoned it, and now they can do whatever they want with it. Methods of claiming abandoned property were not agreed upon, however, suggesting that future riots could result if civilians rescued do not have the vehicles with them. 53 claims on POY1's petrol cargo were registered with the tanker driver and zone accountant. And now almost a whole month has passed. There. 2nd of June 2015. Civilian extraction attempted. Target POY12 has been identified as a taxi passenger and so arrived without a vehicle or patrol. MTF 512 considered POY12 a good candidate for extraction without causing further civil disturbance. Extraction successful. POY12 interviewed. POY12, agent, okay. Interview conducted 2nd June 2015. Interview 24 hours after rescue from zone of effect. Subject was a taxi passenger, no vehicle. Yeah. Begin log 917. As I've explained before, no, you can't go back there. Really? You're really keeping me from going back? Really? Besides, you were at the bottom of the food chain out there. I was surviving just fine. I just need a change of clothes and a bath, which I'll just get as soon as my lazy driver finishes taking me home. We can get you home faster than your driver. What? No. We already negotiated the fee for driving me home. I'm not going to walk away and let him steal what I paid for. We can reimburse you. You'll get home safely, can take care of yourself, and you don't have to be stuck in traffic anymore. I refuse. I can't let him get away with this. He's probably trying to steal my petrol account as we speak. But you did not arrive with any petrol. No, I earned it. I'm very talented. It's mine now. And you see the profit I can make once everything moves on. And log 920. So even if you have... really? I love how he's like, oh no, like, all I need is like a bath and then a change of clothes. Like, well, let's take you home then. No. No, I cannot go. There's petrol in my name. Why the fuck is there petrol in your name? I bought it. Why would you buy petrol? Like, you were a taxi passenger. No, I'm a very smart man. I've made some business deals. Okay, here's a business deal for you. We pay you triple the amount that you pay for the petrol and take you home and make sure that the taxi driver gets arrested. There. Can you go home now? No. Fuck! 10th of June 2015, civilians disassembled some of their own vehicles and reconfigured them into shelters. High temperature, 40... Yeah, I mean, now it's summer. 43 degrees Celsius. I'm surprised that it's only has increased, apparently, by 2 degrees from like, mid-May. Not even beginning of May to beginning of... beginning mid-June... Going towards mid-June, you only 2 degrees have increased. I mean, I'm not saying it should go higher. The fucking 43 is hot, but still, it's just surprised. Personnel within the zone of effect have been successful in preventing dehydration, starvation. Due to temperatures, civilians were allowed to continue with disassembly. A whole month now. A whole month and a week and a half. Well, almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks. 23 July 2015. A prescribed course of amnestics every 8 hours coupled with cultural reindoctrination education has been found to be sufficient to cure civilians of the mimetic component of SCP-2459. Okay. I would have still tried like a stronger amnestics first. Protocol Ballot Code 525 established. POY-1 amnesticized and released. Monsoonal rains preventing further heat and dehydration crisis. 5th of September 2015. This is taking way too long. Protocol Ballot Code 525 successful in the rehabilitation of 50 civilians today. Sample okay, never mind. Yeah, of course. 50 civilians are pretty good. POY 52 H. Mohammed Shah again. Okay. Interview conducted 5th September 2015. Interview 21 days after rescue. Subject underwent amnestic regimen and cultural realignment and has been identified as rehabilitated. Subject underwent final amnestics course after interview and returned home. Begin log 22:03 o'clock. Greetings. Please sit. Please sit. Have some tea. Are you ready to return home now? Yes, I should like that. Goodness, have I really been caught in that jam for 4 months? I'm afraid so. For the record, could you please explain a few last details regarding your experience? Certainly, anything if it will help those poor souls ask you questions. Why were you convinced not to leave the roadway? Well, first thing you have to understand is that none of us want to be there. We all have destinations, families to go back to, things to do. Being stuck in traffic is just a temporary setback. But if the traffic lasts days, then wouldn't it have been easy to just leave the road and walk? Certainly, but then you leave your car behind or abandon your fare. You couldn't do that. You can't make progress if you're just letting the things you own slip through your fingers. What good is it if you make it home but you have nothing? What sort of fool leaves such valuables to be taken? No, it's better to just wait. The traffic will move eventually. The police were there working on it. But everyone emptied their tanks. People are disassembling their vehicles. They can't move their house. They can't move their house now. Yeah, like traffic was slow. We would reclaim our petrol, remove our structures, and leave on a bus when the time came to move. Until then, we needed a place to live and a petrol account to get our food and water while we waited. If it weren't for the rescue operations, there would be no food or water. Agent Shaw is losing his shit. He's like, are you hearing yourself? Dehydration was rampant when we arrived. There are buildings nearby. Certainly would have been easy to bring water from there. And abandon our vehicles? For without petrol? Certainly not. We decided how these things should work, and we would leave when the traffic cleared. Until then, it was best to make do. But you could have died. Why would you believe waiting was the better thing to do? Sir, I understand the absurdity of our solution now, but please try to put yourself in the shoes of those of us stuck in traffic. If you're not willing to die for your beliefs, what good are they? If you're not willing to die for your beliefs, I'm like, you could have just walked home. Just get out of the car and walk home. Take everything that's truly valuable, like your wallet, your key, your phone, and just go home, man. It's crazy. Like, I think it's frustrating for Agent Shaw because he was hoping that like at least one of them would be like, yeah, we don't know. It was stupid. Because even that guy, even though he got rehabilitated and was like, whoa, I was stuck in there for 4 months. He still has the whole like, well, you have to understand that we couldn't leave. Stuck in traffic forever, even though you can just leave by foot anytime. But it is their belief to wait it out. Sell the empty the tanks. Their tanks. Assemble their cars for shelter and wait. I feel bad for Agent Shaw. This must have been frustrating. And there we go, guys. We're done. Like I said, I can imagine, like, from pure logic standpoint, you're like, why not just go home? Like, you say things like, we couldn't abandon our vehicles. I'm like, you took your vehicles apart. You used it for shelter instead of, you know, driving home. Or walking home, or anything else. You could have just done anything else with it. With your time. But you do, it's crazy for them to be like, no, I understand it sounds absurd, but like, it's like, what are you going, like, hey, it's what we believe in. And at the end, you can only look at them and be like, yeah, okay, sure, it is your belief. Who am I? Who am I to question your belief? If you were willing to die in the middle of the road because you refused to walk home. But hey, that's how the anomalous effects work in the SCP world, right? Sometimes even the most illogical reason is enough to make them just stay in place. And it's just some magical force being like, you don't want to leave. Yeah.